Most people spend their entire lives waiting for a phone call that never comes. They are waiting for a lucky break, a lottery win, or a divine miracle to suddenly fix their bank account. They treat God like a cosmic vending machine. They put in a prayer, they press a button, and they wait for the cash to drop into the slot. But the slot remains empty. And eventually, they stop praying. They conclude that either God isn't listening or he simply doesn't want them to succeed. But what if the problem isn't God's silence? What if the problem is the content of your petition? You are praying for the thing, but God is trying to give you the power. You are asking for a harvest, but you haven't asked for the strength to plow the field. In 2026, the global economy is shaking. Inflation is stealing purchasing power, and the old ways of working are dying. In this environment, a handout from God would only last you a week, but a kingdom system from God will last you a lifetime. Today, we are breaking the standard religious narrative. We are moving past the grasshopper mentality that says you are small and helpless. We are looking at the spirit of leadership and the law of the seed. Write this down. God does not give you wealth. He gives you the power to produce it. If you don't understand the difference, you will stay like a seed on a windowsill, full of potential, but eventually drying up and blowing away. Now let's talk about the mechanism of flow. Imagine God is a massive tank containing 50,000 gallons of water. He is infinite. He is never running low. He is the source of every idea, every resource, and every breath you take. Now, imagine your life is the pipe connected to that tank. The water is ready to flow, but the amount of water your garden receives isn't determined by the tank. It's determined by the size of your pipe. This is the tragedy of the modern believer. We have a God-sized source, but we have a fear-sized pipe. We are clogged with what I call mental rust. We binge distraction on our screens. We host gossip in our hearts. And we carry a follower spirit that waits for someone else to tell us what to do. When you pray, "God, give me money," you are asking the tank to dump 50,000 gallons into a 1-inch pipe. If God did that, the pressure would destroy you. Management is a curse, not a blessing. Jesus understood the psychology of capacity. He knew that transformation doesn't begin by relocating your body to a richer city, but by renewing your mind to a higher identity. Romans chapter 12, verse 2 says, "And do not be conformed to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of God." Transformation into kingdom is the process of widening the pipe. It is the spirit of the lion, seeing provision where others see danger. The lion doesn't pray for the antelope to be handed to him on a silver platter. He doesn't wait for a government hunt to organize his meal. He takes responsibility for his hunger. He understands that God built the power to hunt into his very nature. Let's look at a case study from the red letters of the Bible, the direct words of Jesus. In the parable of the talents, we see the kingdom economy in action. The master is going away, and he entrusts his property to 3 managers. He doesn't give them all the same amount. He gives to each according to his own ability. One manager took what he had and widened his pipe. He doubled the resources. But the 3rd manager was paralyzed by the psychology of scarcity. He said, "I was afraid, so I hid your talent in the ground." Listen to the response of Jesus in the book of Matthew, chapter 25, verses 26 and 27. But his Lord answered and said to him, "You wicked and lazy servant, you knew that I reap where I have not sown, and gather where I have not scattered seed? So you ought to have deposited my money with the bankers, and at my coming I would have received back my own with interest." The master didn't punish him for being poor. He punished him for being a bad manager. He punished him for having a small pipe that was clogged with fear. Most of us are like that 3rd servant. We are praying for more money, but we are hiding the talent God already gave us. Your talent might be a skill, an idea, or even just an hour of free time after work. If you bury that hour in mindless entertainment or social media scrolling, why would the kingdom trust you with more? Promotion in the kingdom is not a miracle. It is a result of management. Now, let's go to the legal blueprint of wealth. Promotion is a result of management. Moses gave the children of Israel a warning before they entered the promised land. He knew that when they became successful, they would become arrogant. They would start thinking that they were the ones who did it. He gives them the switch that changes everything. Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18. "And you shall remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you power to get wealth, that He may establish His covenant which He swore to your fathers, as it is this day." Look closely at that word, power. In Hebrew, the word is koach. It means capacity, ability, and resources. God gives you the power, the ideas that solve problems. He gives you the power, the discipline to wake up early and study. He gives you the power, the integrity that makes people trust you with their business. Wealth is not something that happens to you. It is something you produce by using the power God installed in your manufacturing setting. This is why Jesus told Peter to launch out into the deep in Luke chapter 5. Peter was a professional, but he had caught nothing. He had a management problem. Jesus didn't just drop fish into his boat while it was tied to the dock. He gave Peter a command, a system to follow. Peter had to move the boat. He had to drop the nets. He had to exercise his power to get. And when he did, the results were so massive, the nets began to break. Revelation without routine is dead. If you want to stop praying for handouts and start activating power, you need to rewire your identity. Here is your 7-day Lion and Eagle Challenge. Day 1. The Identity Reset. Stop saying, "I am broke." Start saying, "I am a kingdom manager in training." Align your mouth with your design. Day 2. The Association Audit.
Look at the people you fly with. Are they chickens, pecking at the ground, complaining about the economy? Or are they eagles, looking for opportunity?
Limit the pigeon relationships that drain your energy. Day 3. The gift. Time block. Take 60 minutes after work. Don't pray for money during this hour. Instead, study the laws of your industry. Refine your gift. Your gift is what makes room for you, not your resume. Day 4. The mental diet swap. Trade 30 minutes of entertainment for 30 minutes of leadership teaching or a book on systems. Feed the eagle in you. Feed your inner vision. Day 5. The courage move. Do one uncomfortable thing. Pitch the idea. Have the hard conversation. The lion sees lunch where others see danger. Day 6. The environment upgrade. Clean your desk. Organize your files. Show God that you are ready to manage more by mastering what you already have. Day 7. The resolve. Look back at the week. Notice how much more power you felt when you stopped begging and started building. Listen up. In the next decade, the world is looking for leaders. Kingdom mindset. It is looking for people who carry a different spirit. Stop asking God to change your circumstances. Start asking God to change your mentality. When you upgrade your belief system, your life will have to adjust to the new pipe you've built. You are not a victim of the economy. You, my friend, you are a steward of the kingdom. God already built the leadership into you. Your assignment now is to repent, to change your mind, and steward that new mentality every single day. God gives you power and you produce wealth. Are you with me? Type steward in the comments if you agree. If this message hit home or shifted something in your heart today, feel free to share your thoughts in the comments. Let's find the remnant who are ready to lead in the marketplace. And if you are ready to go deeper into discovering your specific gift and assignment, move straight into our next teaching right here. This is Kingdom Mindset. Your identity. Remember, your environment explains your history, but it never has the right to define your destiny. We'll see you in the next one. Subscribe and share this. God bless you.